Welcome back to the Weekly Friedman, your source for the most essential information in the default industry. Last week, the Ocean County Sheriff postponed all scheduled foreclosure sales, citing rising concerns with the Community Wealth Preservation Program and a lack of clarity with how to properly comply with numerous provisions, most notably with the right of second refusal given to nonprofits. The Sheriff Office has directed any inquiries to Senator Brittany Timberlake. I'm Adam Friedman, managing partner at Friedman Vartolo, and joining me today is Friedman and Vartolo partner Catherine Aponte. Catherine oversees our New Jersey Foreclosure Department and joined us a few weeks ago when we introduced the basics of the Community Wealth Preservation Program on the Weekly Friedman episode 5. How's it going, Kat?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for coming back. I bet you didn't think we'd be doing another Community Wealth Preservation Program episode so quickly.
Not so shortly. It was fast.
When the Community Wealth Preservation Program was enacted in January of this year, there were lots of questions regarding implementation. These were relayed to key bill sponsor, then Assemblywoman, now State Senator Brittany Timberlake, but many were not addressed to the satisfaction of the sheriff's offices. Over the past 6 months, sheriffs and plaintiff law firms have done their best to navigate these new requirements. However, the situation took a turn last week when the Ocean County Sheriff postponed all sales until these issues were rectified and clarified. So, Kat, was this surprising? The fact that Ocean County postponed all sales, was that surprising?
Yes and no. We knew that there were a number of issues with the bill, especially regarding implementation and interpretation of some of the provisions. So it was a bit surprising, but not totally unexpected.
Okay, so it sounds like there's a lack of clarity across kind of the entire bill, but Ocean County really honed in on the nonprofit provision. Can you just run us through what that is?
Sure. So the bill created a right of second refusal for certain nonprofits, where the right of first refusal went to a foreclosed upon defendant, their next of kin and tenants. If that was an exercise, nonprofits could exercise the right of refusal to come in and purchase property at the upset price.
Okay, so what about this specifically is the problem? If they're focusing on the nonprofit issue, what about what you just said is problematic?
So I think one of the biggest concerns for the sheriff at this time is deciding what nonprofit falls or meets the criteria of an eligible nonprofit under the statute. So there's a lack of clarity as to who is assessing which nonprofits are eligible and how do you determine eligibility.
Okay, and I imagine there's also a timing issue where like this is quick. Like you don't have 2 months to make this determination, run it up the ladder to the state. It's like someone shows themselves as a nonprofit and you kind of have to work with it or not work with it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it will. It's a fast moving process. And right now it's been a burden on the sheriff, whereas there is a lack of clarity whether it should be with a judge or someone else or another entity.
So Ocean County, as of right now, Ocean County is the only county that has postponed sales. And just in case this is aired a few days later, this is July 22nd. So as of right now, Ocean County is the only sheriff to postpone sales. Do we think other sheriffs are going to follow suit?
Not right now. At this point, we've reached out to a few other sheriff's office, like Morris County and Monmouth County, and we haven't had any information that they are going to follow suit, but it is always a possibility. Okay.
Do you, and I'm saying this more just for the benefit of clients that are obviously calling, concerned, trying to figure things out. This is an issue, right? Because Ocean County is postponing sales, right? This will presumably be rectified somehow. There'll be some type of resolution. But it's focused on nonprofits, on the nonprofit provision, right? So for someone who owns paper in New Jersey and they're concerned, do you feel like once this issue is resolved, we're out of the woods? Or do you feel like there's potential for future issues like this, whether it's a postponement or someone asking questions? Do you feel like this is something that's going to be going on for a while?
No, I think it will go on for a while. There are other issues with the bill. You could consider next of kin. Who qualifies as a next of kin? Who's deciding which next of kin, has priority in a situation where more than one are coming present to try to exercise a right? There are a number of other issues.
Okay. So basically we're hopeful this immediate issue gets resolved, but it won't do it. It'll help, but we could be back in this situation in the near future, even if we get a quick resolution on this specific issue.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So to recap, the Ocean County Sheriff has postponed all foreclosure auctions pending clarity from the state on how to properly administer the provisions of the Community Wealth Preservation Bill. The key issue regarding that bill is how nonprofits and their right of refusal is to be handled by the sheriff's office. And finally, as of the filming of this video, July 22nd, no other counties beyond Ocean have postponed sales, but that may change in the near future. So thanks for joining Catherine Aponte and I. I'm the Weekly Friedman, your source for the most essential information in the default industry. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave a comment below, and we look forward to seeing you next time.